Hello everyone, my name is Angelo and welcome to my channel. Today, we have something a little different. It is actually not a concealed carry holster, it is a outside the waistband holster, and it's more of a duty style holster. What I have in front of you today is a Tier 1 concealed Centurion. So, this is for the P10C, and it comes pretty much as is. The only part that it does not come with is actually the part that connects to the belt here. So this UBL, the Safariland UBL, does not come with it, but it does come with the QLS forks and receiver plate, and that's for an extra $30. And then it comes with the thumb brake as well, if you want it, and it just pops open like so. Pretty clean, pretty straight, simple. As you can see, it is light bearing, pretty cool stuff, to be honest. So why did I buy this holster? I bought this holster with the intent of open carrying it. So the mindset that I had behind it was what I was going to do is that when I was going to carry my holster around and all that stuff here, let me see if I can get this off without making too much noise. But basically I wanted to use the QLS system as a means to find a way to quickly attach and detach the holster, which works, right? So this actually works really well. And the intent was to take this holster and then put it in my car like so underneath the steering wheel somewhere, or maybe on the side, or maybe on the seat, wherever. Find a place to mount it and then mount it to the car. And then when I got out to go do whatever I need to do, put the holster in here and and essentially the belt, and then go on my merry way and carry it open carrying like that. Now, with that being said, that's not what I'm going to do with this holster. This holster is probably going to end up being a range day or a competition holster. And the reason for that is that this holster is obviously, it's a little much for everyday open carry. Now, with that being said, some of you might disagree, and I can kind of understand why. This is a very good system. Like, it has the Safariland QLS with the Safariland UBL, and then it has a nice hard Kydex holster with active retention. So what's wrong with it? Well, the issue is that it sticks out so far from your waist, and it's just so painfully obvious that it's there. And I understand that's the point of open carry, but when I wore this around the house and stuff, and I was kind of looking at it and checking out and stuff, it sent out a very like militant statement, and that's not really the statement I wanted to send out while open carrying. Like, I don't mind if someone sees my gun. The issue is that I don't want someone to see me and see me as like an aggressor. And with that being said, I already went and I bought another holster. I bought a leather holster that's going to be pancake style with a thumb brake, and hopefully that will resolve the issue that I'm having with the kind of the statement I'm trying to say. Because I'm not trying to say, oh, I have a gun, fear me. I'm trying to say, oh, I have a gun and I'm a normal citizen just like you, and like trying to make it so that way people are just used to seeing it, if that makes sense. I'm trying to get the public comfortable. I'm not trying to comfort the public, if that makes sense. So some of the features I already went over was the level 2 retention system. So in this one, as you can see here, so the Safariland one I believe is very similar, but this one is just a lot bigger of a thumb brake, and you just pull back on it and it snaps the hood forward. Now there is actual retention here, and you can adjust the retention through these screws right here. So if that is something you want to do, you could do it that way as well. And then also, it again has the, you can swap out the under here, or underneath this mounting plate. I don't want to take it all off right now, but there are actually mounting screws for the other locking systems. I think G-Code has one or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. The only one I know of is the Safariland QLS. Now, as you can see, you also get this nice little backpack with it, and you get an Allen wrench and a bunch of random miscellaneous screws to go along with the kit to attach your holster to whatever you need to attach it to. Now, what are the pros of this holster? Well, the pro is that intuitively, it is a really fast draw. For me personally, for just taking it right out of the box, putting it on, and putting my gun in, and like sitting here and just drawing in and out with it on my belt, it was just a really intuitive, fast draw. Like, you could get very fast with this holster in very little time in comparison to clearing a garment and actually drawing. Now, with that being said, if you train enough, clearing a garment and drawing your weapon to first shot could be as equally as fast. I'm just saying that intuitively and right off the bat, you can draw faster with this holster, or with a holster like this that's outside the waistband. It's also really rigid, and again, it has two sets of retention. It has the active retention, and it has the passive friction retention. It does have an optics cut at the top, so whenever I get an optic, that's not going to be an issue. And the hood, in theory, would clear the optic because that's essentially what I paid for. This hood is taller than what it normally would be on a normal holster without an optics cut. Now keep in mind, I had to pay extra for the optics cut, I had to pay extra for the thumb brake, and I had to pay extra for the QLS forks, and then I also had to pay not extra from T1C, but I had to actually order the UBL right here, which I will do kind of like a mini review on, a real quick short video on in sometime in the future. Now what are the cons? It's large. It is very, very large. So to give you an idea, here is the normal carry holster. I mean, I guess the carry holster is just equally as large. I'll also talk about the modifications that I made as well. So as you can see, the carry holster is as large, but it's significantly thinner than this one. And then if you look at this one, if you look here, if I put it real close, you can actually see a second layer of Kydex right here. Now I'm assuming they put that in there to make it more rigid, to make it more stable, and so that way the Kydex shell won't break as easy if in the main someone tries to take your gun. Now the other con is that it's very overt. So like I said earlier when I first started this video, is that this this holster is very overt and it sends a very specific message, and that was not the message I wanted to send. Now with that being said, this is probably going to be a great range holster, and it's going to be a great competition holster just because of the nature of the holster and how far away it is from the body and all that stuff. Now my closing thoughts is that I'm kind of curious to see if this is going to be as good, if not better, than a Safariland holster, a traditional Safariland holster. From my understanding, Safariland holsters are not gun specific, but they are like range specific because of the way their locking mechanisms work, whereas this holster is gun specific. And I guess at that point it'd be personal preference on whether or not you'd want a gun, or not want a gun, if you want a holster that is specific for your gun, or if you want a more kind of like quote unquote do-it-all holster like Safariland. Now with that being said, I'm sure if I wanted to, I probably could fit a Glock 19 in here. I don't have one to show you, but yeah, just keep that in mind. And finally, the price. The price is $140, so it's pretty much on par with a Safariland holster. And again, I paid $140 for the hood, the optics cut, the QLS, and the QLS system. All of that was $140. Without all of that stuff, I believe the holster by itself is only $100. And then obviously the extra, I think $10 or $20 for the UBL, the high ride UBL. But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about this holster. That's my impressions. It's definitely not a review, and I probably will take a long time to review it because I'm not out at the range every week, at least not anymore. Again, if you have any questions, leave a comment down below, and yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one.